This video is a cautionary tale about what you shouldn't do when making a YouTube video. But now I would like to talk about myself a little bit, so that you can better immerse yourself in my situation some 200 hours ago. Firstly, I have a lot of problems, but the most relevant one to this video is that I'm like crazy ambitious. Like one of my goals is world domination, but that's not even on top of the list. Inventing like time travel is. Actually no. Becoming omnipotent is. And added to that, I'm like chronically discontent. Like, if I don't see like very obvious and quick progress, I'll get sad or whatever. Okay, but what video went so wrong that I warranted another video talking about how bad it was? Well, it was the previous video on this channel, titled, Can I Make a Nuclear Bomb in Minecraft? And it was just supposed to be, me making a nuclear bomb in Minecraft and stuff. I mean, like, the entire process would have taken, like, I don't know, like, 8 hours or something. Oh. Yeah, so it was supposed to be a small video. Like I would have more time to make a bigger video, like Memory Run 4. But the thing is, everything went wrong. And that really shows in the final video. And how I make videos is like a 2 or 3 step process, which I managed to mess up all of them in that video. The first step is recording the footage, like if the video's type is like gameplay focused, I guess. Like there's 2 types of videos on my channel. The first type is the one you're watching right now. Like the entire video structure is based around the script, like video essay, like more analytical, I guess, like more like boring. So I'd like to congratulate you for making it this far. Now, the second type is gameplay focused, just like the video we're talking about, and the entire video structure is based around the gameplay. Personally, the 2 video types has its own pros and cons, so I don't really favor one over the other. And since the video we're talking about type is gameplay, we have to look at what went wrong in the recording. Well, to be fair, for the first 4 hours I went fine, but for the rest of the 12 hours of the recording, it's an entirely different story. If you watch the video, then you know where I'm going with this. But in short, and also because I don't want to repeat myself, after the initial 4 hours, which is like actually used in the final video, I did a thing for 6 hours, which was like completely useless in the end. And if you count the final 2 hours, which a single frame of that didn't make it in the final video, that's like 8 hours of waste. But isn't that more warranted as waste than the other thing? Because like not even... I really don't know what Passme was doing while making the script. But anyways, it's a bit of a story. And you can watch the original video to get a better picture. So yeah, by the end of the recording, I was pretty frustrated because like I wasted so much time soaking up leaves. But now, we get to the second or third part of my video making process, which I also hate the most, which is editing. Usually when I start editing, I drag in the video recording, and then the voiceover, and then sync them up and stuff. But there was a problem. When I was dragging in the clips, I noticed there was just this giant chunk of my voiceover missing. And just so you know, it's not probably like the actual file. So, as a logical person, what would you do in this situation? I mean, you would probably Google the problem and then like try to find the solution. I didn't find one, but even now I can think of a solution, which makes what I actually did even more stupid. But first, the solution I came up with is like to split the clip into 2 parts because, like, I don't know, maybe it's because the clip was too long or something. But now, we get to what I actually did, which was, learn an entirely new editing software, DaVinci Resolve. I mean, I was going off the basis that, like, I was gonna migrate anyway, so I might as well when encountering the first sign of being stuck. And, like, you may be like, sure, it's a little extreme, but, like, why is that a stupid decision? Well, I was kinda on a schedule with video every 2 weeks, but you see, I'm using an entirely new editing software, and that comes with quite a bit of challenges. And Passme did not think of that. Like, the fact that it's a new software, like, at all, means the entire layout is different, not to mention all the preset effects I had in Premiere, which I can't just transfer because everything works differently. And that was a problem, obviously. And there were also just a lot of random problems and bugs as well. And that just all like slowed me down significantly. And also made me really frustrated. And also, if you forgot, the editing part is the part I hate the most when making a video. So, with all that said, I was slower, I was sloppier, it was just a mess. The reason I didn't go completely mad, so I can just get away with several minutes of raw footage, with like no effects at all. Imagine it was like script focused with all like the visuals and stuff, like I would have actually gone insane. I wasted 2/3 of my recording time on like pretty much nothing. I decided to learn an entirely new editing software while simultaneously trying to make a video while on a deadline. And I just want to say, it was a chore to get through the editing. Like, I mean, it was kind of my fault because of the way I edit videos in the first place. Well, I mean, not to mention the new editing software part, but like normally, people would do the recording, the script, and whatever, then edit it like all at once. But how I do it is like in passes, where there's like editing instructions, then like the media pass, and then the actual effects pass, and then finally the sound effects and music pass. And don't forget, most people would do that like all at once. And on paper, it would be faster, I guess, but in practice, it's really not, and it's more of a chore to get through. There's actually just straight up no pros at all. Like, the initial editing instructions, and then me putting in the footage is like really boring, so I'm already like angsty when I finally get to the effects pass, so I want to get it done as quickly as possible. And then by the time I add sound effects and music, I'm like already drained. So, like if I were to do it like separately, what I mean is that it's like separate, like it's really separate, okay? Like imagine there's 5 of me doing like one pass of this, okay? Just like, imagine that, okay? My enjoyment would probably be like this. But in practice, it's like this. Which is really bad. You know, thinking about it, if I put this in terms of making the script, it would be like making bullet points and then like actually writing the script and then like adding like in jokes or whatever. Okay, so doing like bullet points and then like the actual bulk of the stuff and then extra stuff, in my experience, is far less enjoyable than if I just did it like simultaneously, like in one go, which is the way I'm also known as the normal way, which is the way I'm doing it now, and it is pretty fun. You know, it's really weird that I noticed this if it was like in terms of the script, but not editing. So now it becomes clear. Doing all these like passes in editing is insane. Like for me, personally, at least. Yeah, I got it right the first time around. I didn't have to do any of that. So, and also to bring back the scientific chart from before, if we average out the values in the separate version of doing passes and like adding in this random noise and whatever, I don't know. Doing it all like, normally would probably be like this. Maybe the reason I don't enjoy editing videos is that like every pass is like relatively quick. I mean, not really, but it's like all separated. So I can't just like slow down and tinker around because like I have like the knowledge that like I have to do something else after this. And like it kind of spoils the experience a little bit, if you know what I mean. It's interesting how your mood and action is affected when it's like 100 small things or like one enormous thing. Like objectively, it's the same amount of work, but in practice, it can make all the difference. Alright, I rambled for too long. Also, did you know that this is the longest script I've ever done so far on this channel? So seriously, thanks for watching this extra long video, I guess. Well, for a script focused video, I guess. Like and subscribe if you want, and goodbye.